Yes. You know what that time it is. When you hear that music flow, when you hear my voice, it is time. The return of Mission Star Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony, to be honest. Let me just change something real quick. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Anyways, let's actually lower that down just a tad.
What's that?
No, I did lower down the iTunes music. It's a little loud. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let's see. There we go. Alright, cool. Better. Alright, so we're back, as I said. And as I say that, somebody's texting me. That the stream can hear the doo doo doo. Okay, cool. All right. Anyways, with me today to talk about all things gaming and the gaming news in the past week is none other than Greg Dietz.
Hello, hello.
And we are back. We're going to talk about the past news and games, and yeah. Let's get down to it. So where to begin is the question of the day. I mean, since we already had the title of the show, I might as well talk about it. So this past week, Miyamoto had, I guess, a quote-unquote interview, or this question asked about the Mario lore. And there were some things that he kind of said, like, yes, they're true. No, they're not true, and I know, but I can't tell you. So, let me just, yeah. Okay, so here are some of the questions. I would show you guys, B-roll footage, but like, knowing Nintendo, they tend to copyright strike almost anything that is also Nintendo. I'll talk about that in a minute. But here are some of the questions that were brought up. So, is Mario named after former Nintendo of America warehouse landlord Mario Siegel? Yes, that is true. I didn't know that. That was new to me, so that was pretty cool.
No, I've known that for years. But it's always been kind of like is it true or not? Like, we don't know for sure.
Yeah, so. Definitely. Let's see. Is the Mario shown on the original Super Mario Brothers packing about to lose a life? And for those who don't know, we're talking about the original NES or the NES video game cover of Super Mario Brothers. And no, he's not about to lose life.
He is not.
No, he's not. Would you let Dr. Mario operate on you? And he said no, and emphatically.
Yeah.
I think I would agree with him. Now this one was a bit more. It's a surprise for me. I mean, I'm not much into the Mario lore, but it's interesting that this was brought up. Was Super Mario Bros. 3 all just a performance? And he said yes, it was all just a performance. Which is
cool. This has actually been something that's been talked about for a very long time, because when you start off the game, it's a curtain, and then like everything just looks like it's kind of on wires throughout the entire game. And so people were always like, is it a play or not? Is it something that, we could find out as a play or not? And he confirmed it. He was just like, yeah, it's a play. So I think it's really cool. I think that's really nice that he understands that's what the fans want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It was cool. Like I think that's.
At least the answer to that.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like, Super Mario 1, that happened. That's a real. Super Mario 2, or better known as Doki Doki Panic in Japan, that was all Mario's dream. And then the third one was a play. So, I agree. That's cool. Good. Next question. Sorry, I'm eating by the way, guys. Next question is, when bombs perish, do they turn into booze? Answer is no. Not sure when did that come up? When did that rumor come up of like they become boos?
I don't actually know for sure. From what I understand, it was a. I've actually never heard that one. That's the thing that puzzled me. I was like, oh, but bombs turn into boos? I always heard that it was like dead Marios.
Yeah,
boos.
I was thinking that too. Yeah, I remember hearing that, but I haven't heard of that other theory.
Yeah, other than like that one was really weird to me.
Mm-hmm. Other questions that popped up. Do you know who Bowser Jr.'s mother is? He said yes, but he said it in a way where like I know who it is, but I'm not telling. Which might mean that he may
kind of.
I mean,
he also pointed at himself, which when he pointed at himself, I took that as not I know who the mom is, but I'm not telling. I took that as in I created him, so I'm his mom. Like he doesn't have a mother. Stop asking. Was how I took it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it both ways. I could see it that he's like pointing at himself, which he did do. But and he could say like, yes, I am his mother, or it could mean like I know who the mother is, but I'm not telling.
That could be too, but I mean, because it's Mario Myths, I don't think he's reluctant on giving information away, especially in the video, due to the fact it's supposed to be fun, and Bowser Jr. just doesn't have a mother. Like, period. That's just how simple it gets. Like, he created Bowser Jr. in the context of, I am creating a character that will work for this particular game, and that's as far as it goes, and people keep asking who Bowser Jr.'s mother is like it's important.
Yeah.
That's how I took it, so I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of feel in a way that somehow I think that will eventually come to life, eventually, but we'll see. I don't know. The last two questions were asked to him was, does Mario break blocks with his fists? Yes. I mean, like, not sure where the theory that he doesn't break blocks with his fists. He's been doing it for about, what, since 1980s?
Because in the original Mario, the sprite doesn't quite fit, so a lot of people thought that Mario was jumping and breaking him with his head.
Oh, I see.
Right. It wasn't until Mario 3 that it was much more clear, but his fists still lined up with his head in that game, and then continued to do so in Worlds. So for, like, years, people were just like, he's breaking bricks with his head. And, like, that's... The other thing is that, like, in Mario World, people think he's actually punching... that he's punching Yoshi in the back of the head to make him spit out his tongue. He's actually pointing.
Is he really? I thought
yes.
I thought he always punched in the back of his head.
Nope, he's pointing.
Huh.
It's just the sprite can't do that, so...
Okay. That makes sense. Last question was, are any of your courses featured in Super Mario Maker? And he said no, but he says that there'll be a blog or post about it actually pretty soon. Which... I think it'd be cool if there was some courses that made by him in the game. I mean, there might be already. But yeah.
Well, he might get to... since the game's going to come out, like, I think he's going to... Because fans want it, and he's very much a fan pleaser, he's going to make courses.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like, it'd be cool. But it does lead me to the next topic, actually, because since we're on the topic of Mario and old Nintendo, so Super Mario Maker came out. It came out yesterday, and here's the thing that what I've seen and I've heard. It's been getting great reviews. It's been getting a lot of praise, and then for the most part, it has been doing, what it delivers to do. What my concern is, and this is the same thing that happened with Little Big Planet, is that how long will people create the content for that game for people to play? It's fine now. It will last for, I want to say, a good while. But I'm wondering how long does that keep up? So we'll see. I mean, it all depends on the community, but
Are you saying how long will Mario Maker keep up?
it's how long can the community support this game for making levels.
I'll say this right now: as long as more shit comes out for it, period. Right now, like one of the big things is Gerard the completionist. He had a video all about Mario Maker, and in the video he was showing that every single amiibo works in the game, and how do I say this? So, like, every single amiibo works in the game. I don't know why I'm leaning back. And God, what was I getting at? Jesus Christ! Oh, that's what it was. There are 4 types of Mario games in it. There's Mario 1, 3, World, and New. Mm-hmm. Right now, the different the mystery mushroom, which turns you into a different character, only works in Mario 1. It doesn't work in 3, World, or New. Having that DLC come out, having DLC for new assets to create things with comes out, like, all that stuff is going to continue to make it just like a super game. And people are going to want it super hard. So, like, that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I agree. I think a good example of this would be that Splatoon. Splatoon is a game where at first people they enjoyed it, they love it, and they were kind of wondering why it's little content for a great game. And eventually Nintendo started rolling out updates of a new map or a new weapon like every other week or every week sometimes. If they can do that with Super Mario Maker, the same formula as Splatoon, I think that they can keep the game alive, as well as keeping those who are playing the game, but also introducing new items and elements to the game as well, which is cool. If that formula can work on Super Mario Maker as it does for Splatoon, I mean that may lead into Super Mario Maker being one of the highly praised games to be played for a very long time.
I think one of the big things that's going to keep the game alive is the fact that a lot of Let's Players and Twitch streamers who are going to play it are going to do the whole, like, hey, so on Saturday, I'm going to be streaming Super Mario Maker, but I'm streaming your maps. So start creating, send me a link, and I'll download the map and play it.
It's true.
Like, that shit's going to fucking keep the game alive, too.
That's very true. I could definitely see streamers and YouTubers doing that. Oh, crap. I just spit No, I just spit a piece of bacon into my wall scroll. Into my waifu. Yeah. That is not supposed to happen.
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, you're right. I think Twitch and YouTubers will definitely hop on that, especially now. It depends how long they're going to keep that up as well. It just it's a matter of how much the community will keep this up. It's like the fighting game scene, in my opinion. Like, if for instance, like people who play Street Fighter 3 still support that game, and there's still a pretty huge crowd with it.
Well, I think the difference between like a fighting game being supported and a game like Mario Maker being supported is the level of creativity. People are still making levels and stuff on Little Big Planet.
True.
So I mean,
but it's not as big or it's not as huge. Like you don't.
Well, I think the point is that content is what I was getting at. Like, there will always be people creating shit on Super Mario Maker, always, until they shut off the servers of the game.
That is true.
The number of people, to remain high, it needs to remain in popularity, even remotely. So that's going to be a big factor. But Common Rider asks, why is Super Mario so troll? Well, it's funny you asked that. Lately, there have been a lot of mods that come out for different Mario games where it's insanely difficult levels just because people find it really fun and funny to watch. Kaizo Mario being one of the most popular.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially why 90% of the levels in Super Mario Maker are going to be so fucking difficult.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's hilarious to watch someone rage while they're trying to figure out how to beat a level.
You know what's funny, actually? So there's a local over here where I live at. It's called the Den Dojo. By the way, shout outs to you guys. And it was funny, Cameron was actually there last night. He took a few video clips of one of the guys over there playing Super Mario Maker, and they're playing some difficult levels. And it was hilarious to watch because like the guy who was playing it, I'm not sure if you can type it in chat, comment writer, but he had like started out with like 96 lives, and he finally got through the level, and he was like down to 26.
Damn.
So there is an element of like,
yeah,
this is hilarious to watch, but like it's also kind of, yeah, it's cool.
But I think Mario Maker is going to be a huge hit. I wasn't super like into it before they showed what they did at E3, and then I was just like, oh my god, this is going to be utterly fantastic.
Yep. But time will tell, as many things. So we'll check back in about, I'd say 6 months and see where Mario Maker's at, and whether our opinions still hold true. That is nobody else playing anything else at the time. Oh, I forgot to put it in here. Oh, damn. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, well, I might as well. Yeah, why not? Last Nintendo Nintendo thing. So, because Mario Maker came out, and also recently Splatoon as well, a lot of people have been streaming it, which is fine. But when it comes to uploading it to YouTube, that's where they, run into trouble. So, let's see, copyright strike, YouTube, Let's Players. Boom. Okay. Now here's the thing: is like, this isn't anything new to me or anybody else who knows how Nintendo works when it comes to their games before release or recently new. They're pretty tight knit when it comes to like what information that reviewers or big game websites talk about, and what they can and cannot. NDAs, if also known as. Right. So, with the release of Super Mario Maker, Nintendo, since then, for those who don't know, on YouTube are pretty strict on Nintendo footage on any other YouTube channel. The only way you can have YouTube, only way you can have Nintendo footage on your channel is if you sign up for their affiliate program or some sort of program that Nintendo is offering on YouTube. Even then, it's pretty strict as it is as well. So, people were up in arms this week because they were getting copyright strikes for most of their stuff that were Nintendo related, a la Super Mario Maker. So, am I surprised? No, not at all. But
yeah, it's Nintendo is being very stingy about their content, and what they don't realize, and I've talked about this before, is that people are going to be upset and people aren't going to buy their stuff. Like, that's the thing. That's what confounds me about this attitude is it's free advertising.
That's true.
If a streamer or a YouTuber or Let's Player decides, hey, I'm going to play this game on a channel or whatever, and it's going to get a lot of views, they both benefit from that. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But Nintendo's just like, nope.
Like,
give us all the money first.
I know. Nintendo is a little weird when it comes to their marketing. I think that lets players who play games for the enjoyment and get a lot of hits. There's free advertisement for that game. Like, I honestly would have never bought Shovel Knight if I haven't watched it on Game Grumps. I've heard a lot about it, but when I watched it, I was like, I need to buy this game. I stopped watching the rest of the Shovel Knight series on YouTube and just played it for myself. But yeah, like, it's Nintendo. But to be fair, Nintendo has been like this for a very long time. It's just they're still very stubborn in their ways. that they don't want to give access. I mean, we're talking about a company who almost shut down the the Smash tournament at Evo 2 years ago.
Right.
Because they didn't know about it. So they've been opening up little by little, but they're still pretty stubborn on some stuff, especially with online content. So it sucks, but that's just how Nintendo works. But speaking of Shovel Knight, actually, let me put it up here. Where are you? So recently, Shovel Knight was announced a street date. Yay!
Well, be specific on what Shovel Knight, because you just said Shovel Knight.
Oh, cool.
Shovel Knight's already out.
Yeah. Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows is what I mean. The DLC for Shovel Knight. And in this DLC, you play as Plague Knight.
The possible third boss?
Yep.
If you choose to go that route?
Mm-hmm. And you get to play with him throughout the game of Shovel Knight, including new areas, new levels, new bosses from what I've seen. And you kind of go through some other familiar bosses as well, except he has very different mechanic than Shovel Knight. He has his bombs you can throw out. He has potions you can from the looks of it you can combine and create. Very different mechanic and different way than he plays in Shovel Knight. It's really cool. So it's coming out officially on September 17th, and I'm really excited for this game. More so.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm really, really excited for it. But my biggest problem right now is I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I've talked about it on the podcast before. I know I have that. I had a really hard time with Destiny when it first came out. The way that they've revamped the system in the game, the leveling system, the loot system, everything for year 2 is much better in line to what I want to play. Not to go too deep into it, but one of the things I was talking about on my stream last night was that oh, thanks, Slappy. Also, hello. One of the things that was so tough for me with the original Destiny, or the first year Destiny, was that its light leveling system was really wonky. So I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say there's a piece of armor in the store that is, or a piece of armor in general that you really want, but it requires you be level 32, okay? You're currently level 30. And the armor that you have levels up as you gain its light level. The problem is that everything that you currently have is fully maxed out, and you're at 30, right?
Yeah.
But you're like, man, I really want that armor for 32. I really want to wear it. But the game goes, nope, you can't put that on because you're not a high enough level.
Okay.
Well, that sucks, because now I have to try to find some other type of armor to level myself up in order to get that one piece that I want. And 9 times out of 10, the game's stuff is time-based. Every week, the merchants change their inventory, and every weekend, a guy shows up who has all he has a really high level stuff. And the reason that sucks is because it prevents you from properly just gaining things. What's that? Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, my dad just walked in, so let him know I'm here.
Okay. But now the way that it works is that your level is different than your light level. I don't mind the light leveling system. I hated it that it was part of your regular level. So now, through just experience, I can get all the way to 40 without any trouble.
So,
well, that's the thing, is I just level up to 40 now.
Okay.
Just by itself.
Okay.
So all of a sudden I'm like, I really want that piece of armor, but I'm 36 and it requires a 38, right?
Yeah.
I go, let me just play a bunch of multiplayer or just do some strikes and get up to 38 by myself with just experience, then go to the store and buy that item.
So let me ask you this. So how does that tie into Shovel Knight?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
because Destiny is so much better now, and I'm excited to play it again. The new DLC comes out on Tuesday.
I see what you're saying.
The new Shovel Knight DLC comes out on Thursday.
I see. Gotcha.
So I'm putting a loaded gun in my mouth.
I see what you're getting at. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of, because that's the thing, is every time I talk about, like, I'm playing Destiny again, people are like, but I thought you hated it. And I'm like, yes and no. So yeah, it's just, it's very frustrating that I like 2 games that I've been dying for are fucking back to back. Like, so I have to, what I think I'm going to do, I'm letting the audience know this now, is I'm actually going to blind stream it the Saturday that I stream normally for Heat, and I'll play Plague Knight then, and just throughout the week, not worry about it until, like, just play Destiny until that Saturday. So if you're interested in me, who I wrote 2 fucking articles for Mission Start podcast site. I wrote a review on the game, which was glowing. It's the only time I've ever given a 10 out of 10. And I wrote a huge article where I dissected the fucking first level.
Yep. That's still getting hits, by the way.
I mean, good. It's one of my better articles. Not to fucking pat myself on the back, but pat.
Oh no, go ahead. By all means, you can show off your big cock and everything. So.
Okay, well, I mean, Slappy might enjoy that. But yeah, it's definitely something I've been excited about for a very, very long time. Like, I'm still excited for the upcoming DLC that they're gonna do with, like, the gender swap stuff, and there's another night that they're working on, like a whole other campaign for a different night, and I don't know who it is.
That'd be cool. I'll be happy with just more DLC of Shovel Knight. And that'd be cool if they could continue to have, like, these different DLC for it. Yeah, I'm down. I'm cool with that.
It's also free. That's
yes.
the thing. I guess.
Well, if you bought the game, that's
well, I was gonna say yes. It's you have. I mean, of course, you have to have owned the game, but even if you buy the game the day that the fucking DLC comes out, you still get it for free.
Yeah, it's true. Very
like,
true.
This game is like it is free DLC, regardless of how you want to put it. It's free DLC, and that to me is it's amazing. It's something that most companies don't do nowadays. This is why I was defending Evolve for so much, because most of their DLC was free, but people didn't want to see that. They were just like, 42 skins! God damn it!
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm so excited for Plague Knight. I'm pissed off that the Kagan King comes out 2 days before it.
Right.
That's
AKA the struggle is real.
Being a gamer's hard, guys.
Actually, since we're on the topic of Destiny, yeah, also thank you, Greg, for letting me segue into this. So, recently, and for those who don't know, in Destiny, the voice of the little robot, Peter Dinklage, that voiced him.
Yeah, I got something to say about this.
Yeah. So I want to say Bungie or Activision, maybe both of them, decided, like, you know what, trying to keep this voice and paying royalties to an actor is a little too much for us. So I think we're going to go with a voice actor that's, I think, cheaper, but in a way, I guess, better in some cases. So they completely took out all of Peter Dinklage audio from the game, and they put in Nolan North's audio. So
what's funny is Gavin Free of Rooster Teeth coined the phrase Dinklebot. So do you want to know what Nolan North's robot name is, or ghost name is, I should say?
What is it?
Null Android.
Yeah, all right, I can see that.
So here's my. I love Null Android. I fucking love it. Here's why. When like right now you're showing a clip of it, and I don't know if it has any audio. Probably not, because we're talking over it.
Yeah, there's no audio.
Here's the difference between Dinklebot and Null Android, and I'll go with a phrase, right? Like, let's say, we've awoken the hive, right? Okay, that's just we have awoken the hive. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's Dinklebot. We've awoken the hive. We've awoken the hive. We've awoken the hive. Here's Null Android. We've awoken the hive. We've awoken the hive. You better watch out. Better watch your buns, mister. You've awoken the hive. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I'm exaggerating. I'm absolutely exaggerating. But there's a drastic difference. You feel it sounds happier.
Yeah.
It sounds much jovial than Dinklebots. It also sounds like someone's actually trying in the VO booth.
Yeah.
I love Peter Dinklage. I think he's a phenomenal actor, but he did not give a shit about this role. And there's a part of me, it's not true, and I'm speculating, but I think it's funny if it's the truth, because, whatever. But he wasn't getting paid a whole lot for the role, and so he was immediately like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. And I'm going to intentionally, like, when they bring me in for more voiceover work, I'm going to intentionally be busy.
Okay.
And to an extent, like, he's the voice, like, Ghost is the voice you hear, like, most of the time in the game. And knowing that they were going to, the idea behind the game is that it's going to be around for 10 years, which I call massive bullshit on that.
Yeah.
Because I say within another 4 years, like, the graphics are going to be much less. So
yeah.
Making it a 5-year game makes sense. Making it a 10-year game doesn't. But anyway, where was I saying? What was I going to?
Peter Dinklage.
Oh, yeah. Getting somebody like Peter Dinklage, who is, he's on Game of Thrones. He's doing stuff left and right. He's constantly getting, he's a highly sought after actor because Game of Thrones put him on the map. To have him consistently come in for the next however many years and do voiceover work, it just wasn't feasible. And I don't personally know anybody that thought it was feasible. So it makes perfect sense to me that they would actually bring in a voice actor. Somebody whose schedules may be a little bit looser because they don't have to be on a set for 6 months at a time. Nolan North will wake up and he's like, "Oh, which studio am I going to now?" Like, that's his whole day. The most that he has to be on a set is when he's doing motion capture.
Yeah.
Or like maybe, Nathan Drake or some shit like that. But other than that, like, his schedule's a lot looser. And I think that's definitely important when selecting a voice actor for a role in a game in which you need them around often.
Yeah.
I'll
say this.
Sorry.
No, I'll say this is that I watched the video and I compared both of the voices. I feel like in some aspects, Peter Dinklage, I think, was better. Depending on what line he read or what sentence he, whatever the mood was in the game at that moment in time. But I also feel like I feel like the direction that Nolan North took, like yes, it is happier, but for some of his lines that he spoke, it actually made more sense, and it felt like something that I'm gonna say you and I would say, but it felt logical. So I can see both sides. It's kind of weird seeing that that game company takes out entire audio of an actor out of a game rather.
Well, I mean, you can't, like, they sound so drastically different from one another, and you don't want a voice actor to come in to try to do their impression of another voice actor, because that also kind of pigeonholes a voice actor into doing something. I'll give you an example of that. Like, when Troy Baker was asked to do the Joker's voice, they asked him, "Are you just going to do Mark Hamill's?" And he was like, "No, I'm going to do the voice that I want to do." Luckily enough for us, it was very similar.
Yeah.
But even in that regard, John DiMaggio did Joker in Batman Year One animated movie, and I thought he did a fucking fantastic job as Joker.
Yeah.
Did it sound like Mark Hamill? No. It didn't. So I don't know. I personally I really do like Nolan North as the Ghost. It makes perfect sense that they would completely take out because like they have I'm not joking when I say this, dude. So when my buddies bought me this copy of Destiny, it came with Destiny, the 2 expansions, and the Taken King.
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded Destiny with the 2 expansions, and that was a grand total of 15.5 gigabytes.
Fun.
The day that the Taken King stuff, which was just this last Tuesday, which the Taken King stuff was able to be downloaded then, because this week they have all of the maps and all the new maps and the game types available for people. Plus, like, you get to see what the new tower looks like and all the new shit, but you don't get any of the missions or any of the story and stuff because it's not available yet.
Right.
That update and download was 17 gigabytes, meaning that the Taken King DLC is just as bigger than the core game.
Wow. That's pretty ridiculous. That's
So taking out all of Peter Dinklage's voice acting and putting in Nolan North's for the people who go and buy the $60 version, which has everything for year 2, going and starting the game fresh, if all of a sudden halfway through the game the voice changes, that would completely break the immersion. And you don't want that from a video game / storytelling standpoint. So it makes perfect sense that they took out Dinklage.
Yeah, definitely. It's just odd. I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, we never seen. Well, yeah, we never seen like any game out there who released the game initially and then in the course of like a year and a year or two in its lifespan, take out the audio of one of the voice actors and replace it with another one. Like, we haven't seen that. The only thing closest I can say that came to that was Metal Gear Solid 5, where they didn't use David Hayter, but it used the guy from 24. I'm completely blanking his name.
Oh my god. Why am I drawing a blank now? I just had his fucking name in my head.
Yeah.
Oh my Lanta.
It's gonna be, it'll come to us eventually. But
it will be on a completely different topic, but like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland. Thank you, Slappy.
Thank you. Yeah.
God, that was killing me.
But yeah, we never see anything like that, as a recent.
Respectively, I think I'm almost 100% sure that shit happened in like World of Warcraft, maybe, or
possibly
like a lot of the games that are similar to Destiny, in that like they expect the game to go on for years and years and years, and that with the subsequent DLCs, if a character transitions from the first year to the second year, and all of a sudden the voice like that first year voice actor can't come back, like they don't want 2 different voice actors voicing the same character,
right? But
the most they might try to do is bring in an impersonation, like.
Yeah, the only difference is the fact that with those games or with some other companies, like they don't publicly, say we're changing voice actors. Like that
True
stuff.
too.
That stuff was kept under wraps, and the player wouldn't know unless they really dug into it. So,
well, I think for the sake of Destiny, like I think they wanted everyone to know, just because they sound so drastically different from one another.
But why?
They really, really do.
But my question is why though? Like, is this just why would you publicly go out and say that we're changing voice actors, other than the fact that maybe it was this? I'm trying to figure out what exactly, because like, is that a strike against Peter Dinklage? Like, are they trying to jab at him?
No, I'm saying that I don't think they wanted to jar the audience. I don't think they wanted to make the audience just go, "What the fuck? What's up with Ghost?" Like, I think they wanted to ease people into it, like Like, hey, the guy that you heard through the entire game, he's not going to be around, but we got this really cool voice actor that you know coming in doing a voice. So, just so you know, it's a warning. It's like walking into a room, but you let your friend know you just farted in there.
Yeah.
You don't want to surprise him and jar his fucking nose by, like, him walking. I mean, you do because it's funny. But you get my analogy. Like, it's that's all it is. It's nothing more than just them letting the audience know that something's going to be different, alongside all the other fucking changes that they have in the game. So
yeah,
that's all it is.
True. I'm just thinking, like honestly, do players really care the fact that Ghost is voice acted by another actor? Like, I mean, like, yes, you do listen to that character for most of the game, but do players really care? Though is the question. Like,
yes. Absolutely, and I'll give you a reason why. Again, like I said, Ghost is a character that's he's in the entire game with you. The fact that I'm trying to think of my thoughts here. The fact that let me give you this example. Let's say you love going on this tour to the White House, right?
Yeah.
Because the girl that does it is really nice and she's sweet, and you're just like, oh man, like I hope they never get rid of her. I hope that they keep her around forever because she's fantastic. And all of a sudden, there's a new person there. You don't know this person. Mm-hmm. That's going to be upsetting. You're not going to like that. You're going to want the girl back that you knew.
Mm-hmm.
And
I get what you're saying.
That's all. Like it's just.
I mean,
yeah, it's a familiar voice. It's a comforting voice because you've known it for so long, over like a year now, a full-on year now. Like, you don't want that to go away. You want to keep that. Right. So if you ease people into it versus just straight up being like, fucking deal with it, noobs. Like, you're gonna get less resistance.
True. I mean, yeah, I can see it in that perspective. To me, like, Ghost as a character just does not interest me. I mean, it's each your own, I guess, when it comes to that game. But like,
sure, I agree with you. I agree with you. I could give two shits about Ghost, really. I mean, he's basically Cortana. But even in that regard, what was Cortana? Well,
I mean, Cortana. I can go on for hours about this, but we got to move on. But yeah, that is happening. So here's something I want to talk about because, man, okay, I'll say this, and I'm a hypocrite for having it. I'll show this on stream. I have an iPhone. In this aspect, I support Apple in this way. I think the iPhone's great. Although I'm thinking of changing actually pretty soon. So here's the thing: Apple had their event this past week. They announced some stuff. One of which is a new iPad. Whatever. They announced
iPad 6 or some shit.
Yeah, they announced they dubbed it the Apple Pencil, which is pretty much. Actually, let me show you my Apple Pencil right now. I should go on my screen. This is my Apple Pencil. I use it to draw stuff on a tablet. Guess how much their shit is worth for something similar to this? $100.
Yeah,
$100 for this. So they announced that, and then they talked about Apple TV, which they've been kind of they've talked about before. But there were rumors and there were people getting interest, saying like before before this press conference, saying that Apple is finally going to break into the game industry. They got a controller. They got something for the gaming industry finally. And what it was is basically it's Ouya all over again. Basically, with the Apple TV, you can play iPhone games on the app on Apple TV, just on a much bigger screen. And it has some functionality like you can use Siri to talk to it, a la like the Xbox One's Connect. It has motion control via Wii, and they have like this little like controller you can use to interact with it. So it's an afterthought. Like Apple, they don't want to go into the game industry per se. They don't want to break into it. Like their stuff is mainly product focused. It's for them like games are an afterthought. But the thought of them breaking in was, at least in my circles, like has not been considered, and I don't think Apple wants to, at least not now or ever, to be honest. So, fuck Apple. I despise that company. Not all of it though.
I don't know that I despise Apple. I think that I think Apple's just trying to do something new. They're trying to do something different, and everything they've ever put out is overpriced. I mean, even
Agreed.
Apple people will tell you that. Like,
Agreed.
shit's expensive, bro.
Dude, why do you have an Apple iWatch? Like, or what purpose is that? Like, look.
I don't know. I think having a watch, it's like Aaron Hansen said on Game Grumps, and I think this is a very, like, some guy told him this, so I'm hearing it through him. But, you know, I think this is a really cool idea, but we're going through, sorry, I'm getting distracted by 3 different things. You know, we have our phones, and everyone uses their phones to check the time, right?
Yeah.
So they're like pocket watches. Well, the next transition from pocket watch was, you know, a wristwatch.
Yeah.
So that's the next transition. Will it be as popular? Probably not, but, you know, fuck it.
I guess. If you're Apple, you have more money than God, and you can like risk on some things, including a worthless $100 pencil or stylus you can use. And to be fair, Steve Jobs said he did not want a stylus when he released the iPhone, and Apple is kind of going against the grain and having a stylus now for the iPad. I'm pretty sure it will work for the iPhone eventually, but it's kind of funny and ironic that Apple now is going against what Steve Jobs did want in the first place.
Kinda. Here's the thing about Steve Jobs that people don't understand. His primary goal, especially when it came to Apple, was to make fucking money.
That's their goal still today.
Right. So I don't think that they've actually gone that far off from what Steve Jobs wanted. I personally feel that, sure, the Apple Pencil is stupid. No argument there. The watch, not that dumb. And realistically, all these devices we have, like, I think I personally use this device, my cell phone, better than most people use their cell phone. I can do rudimentary Photoshop on this phone. Mm-hmm. I can go to different websites. Like, I specifically download apps that help me out throughout the day. I'm the only person on the fucking planet that doesn't sit there and argue for 20 minutes about who was in a goddamn movie when I just go to IMDb.
Yeah, it's true.
This is a tool to me. This is a very expensive, very useful tool to me. This is my fucking Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy that smartphones exist. I don't like Apple products because I feel restricted when using them. So I don't want them. I will say, though, that when Apple comes out with a presser and says, we got this coming out, we got this coming out, we got this coming out, I'm like, cool. All you Apple fans, have fun with your stuff. I'm going to buy the less expensive, less handcuffy item.
Yeah.
It's maddening that, like, I get your frustration. I get your frustration that you feel like Apple is kind of imposing on things that already exist. That they don't need to go any further than what they've already got. But the argument I have against that is much like I do with somebody who goes, well, that adaptation shouldn't be made, is the original still exists. There are other options.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. I mean, I think when it comes to Apple, like, you don't have to choose Apple products. You can buy Android. You can buy LG. You can buy any other product. Virtually, you can do the same thing, or they can even be better at different prices range, too, as well. So, I'm just like, yeah. So, that's my thought. That's what grinds my gears about Apple. So, yesterday, a new Street Fighter character was revealed. And we've been talking about Street Fighter because of, Capcom's actually doing an effort to really differentiate itself from the last series, Street Fighter 4. So, yesterday, which I feel like was an unfortunate event, or unfortunate that it happens to be on the day of 9/11. But a new character, a Middle Eastern character, was revealed, and his name is Rashid.
It's Rashid.
So he looks actually pretty cool. Like, I like the direction this character is in. He is very, like, parkour-esque. He has, like, wind projectiles, a la, like, Windman from Mega Man. He can bounce off walls, kind of like Chun-Li, but more mobile. He's got, like, these hurricanes he can, like, just make on a whim. He's got dive kicks. It's really cool.
Yeah, he looks badass.
Yeah. It's just the fact that this can't... Here's the thing, though. The trailer came out yesterday, 9/11, on the day that, the major event in U.S. history happened years ago. But it was also because the reason why they unveiled it was because there was a Dubai tournament happening. I think the time day frame was a bit different. So when it was revealed there, it was, an our time, like on the next day already. So he's a really cool character. I think it's really cool. I think it's unfortunate the way that it was unveiled on the day of. And people were like, "Oh,
I don't know. I personally wouldn't read too much into it. I think.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't either. But people are just saying, like, Capcom's racist because it's,
Look, we discussed this last podcast 2 weeks ago with fucking Mika. Is it Mika? Is that her name?
Mika, but yeah.
Yeah. Fuck the stupid fucking internet. They're idiots. They're going... Maybe not all of you, because there's some of you that I like. The loud people are stupid. Capcom is not racist. Capcom intentionally planned to release it on the day of this tournament. Just because in America there happened to be a national tragedy, and it sucks, doesn't mean the world fucking stops. Doesn't mean that shit can't fucking happen.
Yeah.
Capcom is a Japanese company.
Yeah.
Capcom didn't have a national tragedy on September 11th.
And to be fair, like, this isn't new for Capcom. Remember when Resident Evil 5 came out? And there was this big hoo-ha of, like, white men killing black African Americans in Resident Evil 5.
No, I remember it. I remember.
Yeah, that was something. So Capcom's not. They're no stranger when it comes to racism in some aspect.
In this same conversation, I've been really I was really curious about the character of Quiet for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking into a lot of who she is and what her abilities are and all sorts of shit because she looked badass. I was curious as to why she looks the way that she does. How sometimes she has what looks like black makeup around her eyes, but then sometimes she doesn't.
Yeah.
What's that about? So I looked it up, and I know everything about her. And she's awesome. She's fucking awesome.
Yep.
To me, she's cooler than the fucking dog in the game.
Whoa. Hang on. The dog's pretty fucking cool, too. But I can see why...
I didn't say it's not. I just said she's cooler. I'm not going to spoil anything about her, because I know there's people who haven't beat the game,
mm-hmm.
and I don't want to do that. So,
Yep.
What I will say is that I can't watch a goddamn video on YouTube without somebody in the comments bitching about how she looks.
There's a reason.
The fact that she's very scantily clad.
There's a reason why for it, actually, but yes.
There is actually a very good reason for it. People still think that's bullshit. Like, if you know the reason why, which is perfectly acceptable for her character, it's nonsense to me that a developer, a creator, can't do what they want and how they want without somebody going, it hurts my feelings. It hurts my sensibility.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks to live in that world. When going to, like, when talking, let's talk about Japan for a fucking second. How they live and how they function as a society is not nearly as overly sensitive as our society is.
Agreed.
Or let me rephrase that. The sensitive ones aren't as loud over there.
Yeah. There's definitely different standards when it comes to that thing from Japan and to the US. So there are different, like, people are not as offended in Japan as Americans are nowadays.
It's from what I've experienced and having friends in different countries. You know, a couple in Australia, a couple in England, all of England, not just like London. I actually don't have any South America friends. I just realized that. Canada, like, America is just chock full with people who are just like, I hate this thing, and I'm gonna post it on the internet. Boop. America's the only country that has an abundance of that.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, I know they exist in other countries. I mean, just on principle of, like, you know, like lowest common denominator shit. Like, they exist. They're just not as loud.
Yep, agreed. Very much agreed. And now we go to our last topic of today. We may be a little bit over time, but I feel that I should talk about this because it's actually pretty cool.
My laptop just crashed.
Oh, that's not fun.
I'm not Skyping off of it, so what do I care?
Good point. So, the last topic of today. Okay. So, short story, or long story, depending on how you look at it. There was a game company called Main 6, and they were actually in the process of making a My Little Pony fighting game, but it was a fan-made game. It wasn't for sale. It was for free, and they wanted to do it because, hey, why not? Well, Hasbro caught wind of this because at some point, their game was actually up for possible being played at EVO. It was during the time where they were having a competition on fundraising for which game should be added to the EVO lineup, and much of those games were Skullgirls, Smash, MOP Fighting as Magic, and other games as well. And so Hasbro caught wind of this. They C&D'd it. They said you cannot make this game anymore, and since then they dropped it. And a lot of people were heartbroken because this game was actually pretty close to being finished. So they decided to continue to work on the game, but have it change for obvious reasons. And Lauren Fowleside just caught wind of this too, so she actually came in to help out with the art assets of the game. And they released a trailer as I just showed you, and the game actually looks really good, and it's using the Lab Zero engine that was raised during the Skullgirls Indiegogo campaign. And now they're able to use it, and from the looks of it, it looks really good. I have to applaud them because it took them years. We're talking about at least like 4 or 5 years of like going through making MOP fighting game, get rejected from Hasbro, and then going kind of from scratch or whatever they can gather up.
How long has My Little Pony been around? The new one.
The fighting game.
Just the show in general.
Oh, just the show. I believe. Want to say 2010. Let me check. Hang on.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 20 years. I was like, not going back to the 80s.
Let me check real quick on the internet. Where's
Because
the
if they've been working on it for 5 years and the show's only been on for 5 years, like that seems like they started basically like after seeing the first episode.
Yeah, let me see. The show started, 2010 up to now, yeah. So basically, like, they started since like the series started, and it sucks for them the fact that they were told to stop, but then like had the encouragement to make the game anyways, but change it to different characters, although the characters are still animals, just like different ones. And some of the moves from the other characters from the previous game is still in this game as well. So
if it gets funded and they make a solid game that people really want to play, like it could become popular, and then Hasbro can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Like the you saw at the end there, like the crowd funded the Kickstarter for it is starting on the 21st of this month. I am happy to see that these guys have made it this far with the game, but I also want to see this to get funded as well. It looks good. They're using the Lab Zero engine, which I play a ton of Skull. I love it. So if it's anything, it might be very similar. But yeah, I'm down for this. I'm just need to shout these guys out. Main 6, you guys did a great job. Keep doing your stuff, and yeah, good things come to those who wait, as they say. But yeah, that's gonna do it for our show, actually. So thank you guys for joining us. Also, shout outs to the new follower who followed us today on our Twitch channel. Yay!
Boot boot, new person. Thank you.
Yes. So before we go, Greg, where can I find you on the internet?
God, where can they not find me? Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, your mom's house. Just search for Chub Rock Geek and you'll find me. That's ChubRockGeek. Chub Rock Geek.
Awesome.
Also, I need to get to work on some reviews because I've been slacking like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But working on some actually edited videos for the YouTube channel. Working with Anthony here about that, so that'll be soon. I, as a matter of fact, tonight have a stream on Half Empty Energy Tank. Me and my buddy Nate will be playing Castle Crashers Remastered, which just came out on Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. What else? That's about it, I think. I know that after this stream, I'm gonna go take care of something, and when I come back, Slappy Meats is gonna be drawing, and I'll be joining him on chat for some video game conversation.
Awesome. You can follow me on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that me and Greg do on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. Let me bring up this slide, actually. So if you enjoy this podcast, this video, this audio, however you listen to it, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher, and also be sure to check it out on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. You'll be able to find Mission Start Podcast. If you enjoy listening to The Carnover, which is a podcast about conventions we just been to and talking about our experiences and our thoughts on the convention, check out The Carnover. It's on iTunes and Stitcher as well, and it's also on our website as well. Be sure to check out this past week. Apparently, Jeremy hijacked my podcast and did his own show, so yeah, they talk about D23 and Anime California, so I haven't killed him yet, so after this show I probably will. And then if you enjoy comic books, movies, HBO, entertainment, all that good stuff, video games sometimes, check out the Rolling 20s podcast on our website on iTunes and Stitcher, as well as on our website. That is actually Jeremy's podcast, which we host on our website. And one few other things real quick. So another thing to mention is we have a Patreon page. Patreonpage.com/Mission Start Podcast. So if you guys listen to this, tell everybody go check it out, support us, give us some money so we can give you some cool ass content. And outside of that, the only thing left is there will be no show next week. I will be at San Francisco covering YahwehCon, and there won't be a show for the following week either because I'll be in San Francisco for TwitchCon.
Maybe just say maybe we should record earlier.
That is true.
We don't have to do always a live show. We can just be like, there's no live show next week, but there will be a podcast next week.
That is true. We could. We could. Yeah. Make it a podcast instead. Bring back the classics. So, yeah. Show TBA. I was going to say one more thing, but I totally forget. Oh, that's right. And for those who are watching this stream or listening to it, okay, that's Slappy Meats. Be sure to follow us on our Twitch channel. Hit the follow button. We're getting close to episode 100, and hopefully by then, I'll have a special announcement. But anyways, with that, I think it's time to say goodbye, and we'll see you.